Today, my dad's gonna show us how a master chef turns Costco salmon into a gourmet meal in 15 minutes.
姜葱三文魚
It's literally the best salmon I've ever had. So get ready because this video is packed with simple tips and techniques you can use to level up your cooking right away, starting with how to prep the salmon.
呢條魚又大概唔夠2磅啦，唔夠2磅。我就愛1磅多啲魚啦。留翻啲就大餐食啦。啲魚呢度有魚鱗，你可以將啲魚鱗去咗佢，或者你連魚皮嘅魚鱗咁蒸亦都冇問題。除鱗好簡單，你俾個膠袋入住佢，好咁入住佢。你去鱗咧，你可以用個匙羹咁樣喺嗰度喺入邊掛住佢。
This first step is optional, but for a better experience, start by descaling your salmon. My dad uses a plastic bag and a spoon to make cleaning up easier. You can also buy skinless salmon fillets and follow this recipe exactly the same way. On that note, let's head to Costco to learn what my dad looks for when buying salmon. When going to the grocery store, how do you know which salmon fillet to choose?
靚三文魚咧，佢嘅肉咧會鮮紅色。呢個冇咁靚嘅，或者你養嗰啲咧，佢啲顏色比較淡色啲，帶黃色。如果你摸落去彈翻起啲肉，唔好俾佢凹。如果你條魚係唔靚嘅，撳落去凹咗，佢就凹咗，佢就唔會彈翻起。因為你買嘅時候咧，你一劈個咁啊裝住喺度嚇，你側轉佢，如果佢入邊好多水喺度嘅，咁你就唔好選擇呢個。即係有水嗰啲，佢就擺咗好長時間喺度。
We bought wild salmon versus buying farm salmon. We'll touch on this later, but first we'll finish descaling our fish.
好啦，係咁係要，俾匙羹就得㗎啦。嗰啲魚鱗之後咧，拎佢出嚟，嗰個水洗佢，咁就好乾淨啦。你俾塊廚房紙抹乾水佢，你抹咗水佢之後咧，索乾水啦。咁蒸起上嚟咧，就唔會成碟都係有啲水，好多水分喺度啦嚇。咁咧，我就將佢切開4嚿。我哋屋企有4個人食，咁一人1嚿，咪 OK 係嘛？切開4嚿。
After pat drying your salmon, divide it into 4 equal pieces or as many as you want to serve.
擺落個碟之前咧，我就俾咗條葱尾上去，墊啲個碟底嘅先。
Next, tear a stalk of green onions and lay them on your steaming plate.
咁樣咧，嗰啲魚咧，佢就會熱度咧就會傳得好啲噶啦，因為佢墊一墊底，有空間喺度啦嘛，唔使直接喺度，咁留低個空間喺度，係咪？咁我增加個葱嘅香味喺度，係嘛？擺咗魚之後咧，我哋切薑葱先啊，薑就已經轉佢洗乾淨晒噶啦，將切片有啲切絲 ，OK？
My dad switches cutting boards for sanitation. To save time, or if you only have one cutting board at home, you can cut the aromatics first before prepping the salmon.
咁擺上嚟，好啦，葱絲。
Now, cut your remaining ginger and scallion into thin strips.
咁樣切。
In total, we're using about 1 ounce of ginger, 2 ounces of green onion, and 1 ounce of cilantro for 1 pound of salmon.
得啦，嗰啲薑絲撈埋一齊間。
To level up your confidence in cutting all kinds of ingredients, check out our comprehensive masterclass on knife techniques in the CANTO Cooking Club. To get access, check out club.mewithlau.com.
好啦，呢啲芫茜啱間擺上面 ，OK。
We'll set our aromatics aside before moving on to preparing our sauce.
用生抽1個湯匙生抽，老抽1個茶匙，嗰啲蠔油咧1個湯匙酒，白胡椒粉1/4茶匙。呢度咧面上咧就俾啲胡椒粉上去糖咧半個茶匙夠啦。
We have all of these ingredients listed on our blog at madewithlau.com, along with step-by-step instructions and video clips to guide you as you make the recipe at home.
咁夠咗之後咧，你自己試一試嘅味道。如果你覺得佢認為我要鹹啲嘅，咁你加少少鹽上去。
Mix together your sauce and taste.
好啦。
Today, my dad's using wild salmon. How does this compare versus farm salmon? Well, at first glance, there's a noticeable difference in price. Wild-caught salmon is more expensive and farm salmon is more affordable. Also, wild-caught salmon eat natural prey, resulting in a leaner fish, while farm salmon are given feed, resulting in a fatter fish. Some people swear by wild salmon, while others can't tell the difference. Other than taste, your choice may depend on budget, local availability, and sustainability. Seafood Watch is a great website to find sustainable options for all kinds of seafood. But whatever salmon you end up with, you can follow this recipe for a tasty, tender seafood dish. Now let's get ready to steam our salmon. Start by bringing a pot of water to a boil and set a steaming rack down. We're using a wok, but you can use any cookware that you can cover with a lid and that's big enough to hold your plate and water.
我而家就啱啱係轉呢個碟嗰度啊，嗰度啊，如果水滾啊，俾落去，滾水俾落去之後咧，三文魚好快就熟嘅啫。
If you don't have iron hands like my dad, it's also safer to have some clearance so you can easily remove the dish after steaming.
大火蒸，一定要大火蒸嚟睇中啊！
Steam for 7 to 10 minutes or until the internal temperature reaches 145 degrees Fahrenheit or 63 degrees Celsius. How do you get tender, juicy salmon?
如果你蒸得時間長咧，老咗啲入邊啲汁咪流晒出嚟咯。你係嘛？你蒸嘅時間越長，啲肉咪越老變啲汁咪走晒出嚟咯。知道嘛？蒸嘅時間就蒸魚就個技巧就啱啱好就得啦。傾睇佢啦，啊，睇到佢啊，捉熟啦。
If you don't have a food thermometer, you can test your salmon for doneness by inserting a chopstick to feel firmness. Salmon, also known by the loanword Salmon in Cantonese, is consumed all over the world. People employ all sorts of methods to cook salmon. Baking, poaching, grilling, frying, and broiling are the most common preparation methods. But honestly, I feel like people are sleeping on steaming, which is one of the fundamental Cantonese cooking methods. It preserves the fish's natural deliciousness without overwhelming it with sauces and rich marinades. It's a quick process, and you don't have to do a ton of dishes afterwards. Best of all, it's not eat hay. And if you don't know what that is, we'll have to cover what that means in another video. For this all-important last step, we're gonna switch out our wok with another wok to heat up some oil. If you only have one wok, you can either clean it and dry it, or use a frying pan to heat the oil.
而家咧，將啲葱俾上去，姜上嚟，啲葱咁樣打過嚟。
Now, pile on your ginger scallion onto your steamed salmon.
而家咧燒鑊俾油，我就係俾3個安士油咁上下啦。我哋問我燒到油滾咗為止。我而家啲油開始煙㗎啦，佢基本上就可以得㗎啦。燒滾油佢，我而家俾落去咯嚇。
Next, pour your hot oil over the top of the aromatics to release their flavor.
得啦。 芫茜俾條睇個面上，仲色係OK， 咁得。俾芫茜之後咧，就俾sauce上去啦。
Finally, add your sauce around the perimeter of your salmon and serve.
啲魚汁咧就喺個底下咁流上去㗎，唔需要喺面上下。薑葱蒸三文魚就整好咗啦，希望大家中意。咁多位妹妹落嚟吃妹咯
Cheers! When you look in that camera, you can say hi.
Hi!
Hi, camera.
Yeah, you gotta go a little higher though.
YouTube thinks you'll like this recipe next. Let's see if they're right. A huge thank you to our wok stars and all of our chefs in the CANTO Cooking Club.